heart will never be the same, but I'm telling myself I'll be okay, even on my weakest day. I get a little bit stronger.
WGSN-DB Going Solo Network welcomes you to award-nominated relationship internet radio talk show, Going Solo with Cece. Host Cece Schatz is a speaker, author, blogger, and the leading transitional divorce and dating coach with My Friends Connect and Going Solo Next Step. Now, together, let's join Cece.
Hello there, this is Cece with Going Solo, and it's wonderful to have you here on WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. And today we're going to get right on into it because I have Judith Costa. Judith Costa is a very good friend of mine. She is an excellent counselor, just an extraordinary individual. She really does a lot of different techniques such as astrology, Reiki, mediation, deep interpretation, coaching, and life regression therapy. And so welcome to the show, Judith.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Oh, it's great having you. I know you've been doing a great deal of traveling, so I'm so pleased to have you with us today.
Yes, it has been amazing to teach workshops and offer private sessions around the world. I have been traveling, as you said, in Europe, in Asia, Dubai, and Spain, but it's good to be back here in the U.S.
Oh, it's wonderful. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, your coaching. How did you get into this type of field?
What changed my life was the concept of soulmates. I read a book of Brian Weiss, Only Love is Real, where I discovered the concept of soulmates, and it resonated totally with me. At that moment, I was just interested in psychology as a hobby, and I was doing astrology, but life put me in a situation, went on a quest to demonstrate that my husband was my soulmate. And I had to start like a quest of self-transformation to answer this. That's the reason why I studied all these different techniques that you mentioned. I came to the US to do a program of life coaching, but I did a training with Brian Weiss on past life regression. I did the training also to open the Akashic records. It's like the book of your soul, that where all information of who you are as a soul is there. And I also use dreams. I do dream interpretation because dreams contain a lot of information about ourselves. And these are all just techniques that help us not only to know if we are in a soulmate relationship or to try to find our soulmate or soulmates, because we have more than one. It's a quest, as I was saying, of self-transformation, because you learn who you are and how to love yourself, how to accept who you are and appreciate your qualities.
Yes, I agree with that. I think that it's very difficult sometimes because we don't really know who we are. And then when we start out through, especially after divorce, after something that's very life-changing for us, we start out and we're like, okay, now where do we begin? What do we do? Because our lives evolved around someone else. We're not sure where to even pick up and who we are, what we like, our joys or anything like that. When we're doing that, maybe kind of share with the listeners, how does one begin to try to figure out who in the heck am I now?
Yeah, even before that moment, because one of the things that happen in relationships is that we abandon ourselves. We think that we have to change in order to get love, the love we want. We sacrifice ourselves. We forget our dreams. This process starts even before we decide to get divorced, because it's not what happened in the relationship or the other person's fault. It's that we stop loving ourselves. During one moment, during our path, we forget who we are. That's the reason why we feel so lost after breaking up or a divorce. It's because we don't know anymore who we really are. Then the solution is to reconnect with ourselves, to do some inner work, to remember what our passions, dreams. It's not about the relationship it's about loving ourselves no matter what. We have to be our first and our only best friend. We have to be there for ourselves. It's not that having the love of someone else, that is wonderful, but it's not going to solve the lack of love that we may feel inside of ourselves. Then the first step will be this reconnection with who we are, knowing that whatever we have in front of us, we have the power to overcome it. We have the power to create the life that we want to live.
Wow, that is very powerful. That's a huge, powerful statement that you just made. And I think that will change people's lives when they start to realize that they have the choice, they have the control, they have the power to really, make the decision to move forward in their lives and create what they would like to create. this time around. It's almost like giving a second chance, a breath of fresh air into your life. And it takes these really moving changes, heart-wrenching changes in our lives to make us step back, evaluate that have we lost ourselves within whatever it is, whether it be our work, our relationship, our children, all of those things. It's so easy to lose yourself into those things. But how can you create a balance as we're moving forward? Like, let's say, for instance, Judith, right now we're figuring out, okay, we're starting to go on that path. We're starting to figure out who we are. How do we have a balance so that we're not so fearful of moving into another relationship that we're not going to lose ourselves again into that?
No, because we think that when we got divorced or break up, we have failed, okay, that it's something terrible. No, we need some time to grieve, because I'm sure that the person you were with was very important for you in your life. Then you have to take some time to reflect and to put yourself together. But after that, understand that every person that is in your path is preparing you for the next relationship that you will have. Then we learn continuously in relationships. There are like laboratories of the spirit where we can practice how to love and how to be loved. Then the idea, and I know how easy it is to feel afraid of making mistakes again, but there are no mistakes in relationships. There are no lost time in relationships. Even when you break up or got divorced, you can take all the good moments and all the love that you have shared. Then it's important, in order to have this balance that you mentioned, to understand that things are going to be okay, that you need to trust yourself and the process, that you cannot allow fear to take over your life. It's more about relying on life and loving life, knowing that the most important thing is your happiness and making yourself a priority. This is going to be an exercise that you will start one day and never abandon, because self-love is a daily decision. It's not something that happens automatically. It's something that by practicing, it becomes a habit. It's going through life asking yourself, what is the best decision for me now? Then you can include the rest of the people that you love, parents, your partners, your children. But first you have to check with yourself.
It's so funny is that I was having the same conversation with a girlfriend of mine last night. And we were talking about relationships as we're moving through, and I'm starting to date now from my past relationship, and separated now, divorced now for 8 years. And I've had a couple really great relationships with a couple really super guys. But I've noticed that as I'm moving through those relationships, even though it might not have worked out, I have learned so much about myself, and not necessarily what I thought I wanted, but now I understand what I don't want. So I'm able to start putting in compartments what I do want, what I don't want. And it's not that they were bad people, because they were great men. I mean, wonderful guys. It's that it just wasn't right for me. And why wasn't it right for me? You know, sometimes you'll go into a relationship or you'll start dating someone and you can't figure out why it's not quite right for you. You have to start to kind of figure out yourself. It's not, they're not right for you. It's something within yourself that you have to start aligning yourself, I believe. What do you think about that?
Yeah, do you know that I teach workshops about how to find your soulmate? And then a soulmate is someone that is vibrating at the same level as you. What does it mean? That you have to become the partner you want to be with. That's the reason why I'm insisting in having a good level of self-love, in learning who you are and how much you have to offer, that you are unique and that you have something important to share with someone, that it's your love. For me, a relationship is when two individuals that already love themselves come together to share this love. Why is this important? Because when we are trying to figure out the relationship that we want, of course, now you have more experience than in the past and you know what you don't want. But what it's important is to realize and invest time in making a kind of a list, but not a list of qualities of this man or woman that you are searching in a soulmate. It's more about what kind of relationship do you want to live in? How are you going to feel when this person enters in your life? What are you going to do together? What kind of relationship are you going to create? Do you see yourself with the family? Do you want someone that is having family already? And are you going to create a new one together? Not only how this person looks like physically or emotionally, it's more than that. It's imagine partner of your dreams. Do you want your best friend or do you want a lover? Or do you want both in one? Then making this exercise will help you not only to have a clear idea of what partner do you want, but also to connect with its energy, to send a message to the universe that it's who will put you together. You have to be magnetic to love. Find you instead of you going after or trying to find and going into 100 dates. It's not necessary. Allow love to find you.
Absolutely. That is a very, very profound again. Is I love the part about the vibrations of the partner that you're with, because so often, and I can only speak, and I know I share with the listeners a lot about myself, is because I'm traveling down the same road you guys are traveling down. And so I get it. I get what we're going through. And I know that sometimes when I'm out there and I'm dating someone and I'm starting to have a connection with them, it is very true that I am not on the same maybe wavelength, I guess I could say. Even though I meet them and I think, wow, they're really great, they're good looking, they're handsome, they've got it going on or whatever, I'm just not at the same level that they are. It's like our vibrations are just not somehow connecting. And it's interesting for me to hear you say that you have to be...
You have to become the partner you want to be with. You cannot manifest a partner that, as you say, you are in different waves or you don't have the same level because energetically you cannot be together. Then the relationship is not going to work.
Yeah, very interesting.
Trying to find a connection. I have a lot of clients that they don't have any problem to date, but they want something special. They want to feel this connection. They want this soulmate. Then, I have been there. After my divorce, at that moment, I figured out that I didn't want less than a soulmate, and I knew how to do the process. There was no workshop about soulmates in that moment. I was living in Spain, but I knew that if I put all my attention and intention and I really define what kind of relationship I wanted, not saying what I don't want from past relationships, more like a new, fresh start where I can define exactly how I want to, and I can work on feeling that I deserve this kind of love. Because you cannot have anything that you don't feel that you deserve. If you don't believe in soulmates, just change the name for the right partner for you. But you have to be sure that this person exists, and it's out there waiting for you. You don't know when are you going to meet, but you have to be sure that the encounter is going to happen.
Yeah, the other thing, too, is I know you and I have talked about this before, about loving. You can love someone. You can love a lot of different people in your life, a lot of different ways. But it's a difference between loving someone and really finding someone that you have the soulmate, the same connection with. It's really I guess you would say, the Cadillac of relationships, isn't it?
Yeah, what happened between soulmates is they have an eternal connection. Your soulmate is someone that has been with you in the past. Yes, it includes the idea of past lives. And it's someone that can be with you in this lifetime, and for sure it will be with you in a future life. You say it's like the best of the best. We have this idea because soulmates are so connected when they see each other. They have a feeling of connection. We call it soul reconnection or recognition because it's like being in front of someone that you don't know. Your mind is telling, I don't know you, but your heart is saying, oh, I'm so happy to see you again. It's this sensation of familiarity, of arriving home, that it's so easy, the relationship, there is no ego. It's like this person has already the key of your heart. And you didn't even know. It's like looking someone at the other corner of a room full of people and just looking at the person, something happens. Then soulmates come together again because they help each other to grow, not only to share their love. It's because the connection that they have already will help this person to take out the best of who you are. It will help you to learn certain lessons, but with love. That coming from a different partner, maybe you say, okay, I don't want to be here. I just quit, or I break up, or bye-bye. You are not for me. But because of the connection between soulmates, you allow this person to do that. And it's a very intense and deep connection. Thomas Moore, that has a great definition, says something that for me is important. And he says that it's someone that the connection is something that it's not created by your efforts. It's rather a divine grace. And this is the way people that are sharing their lives with their soulmates feel. But it's not only a romantic concept. You can have a good friend that it's your soulmate. We have more than one, as I mentioned before. And sometimes siblings or even pets can be soulmates.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Okay, let's say we've done some work on ourselves and we're starting to feel better about ourselves and we want to get out there and we want to start dating. Now, you said, and I've heard you say this several times, on past shows that you and I have had together, is that soulmates will find you. How does that happen? How does that work?
It works because there is a universal law called the law of attraction, but it has like small letters on how it works, like the contracts. Why? Because people think that it's enough to put all your intention and desire, and that's all. But that's not true. We can only manifest when we are happy about our life. That's the reason why I mentioned since the beginning this idea of loving yourself and being there for you and feel good about yourself, because this is a condition that we need to have. Then magnetically, the universe will put you together. But again, there is something that you need to work on. The first step will be make this list or idea about what kind of relationship you want. Why? Because you have to send to the universe a clear idea of what you want. The universe is ready to help. There is no one out there judging you or up there. The universe is ready to help, and it will send you not what you want, not what you say you want. It will send you what it matches your vibration, this idea, what you feel inside of yourself. And when someone is feeling really bad and feels needy, feels alone and want to be in a relationship, to be with someone, and this lack of love, it's there, will meet another person that has a similar problem, a person that wants to give so much love, and the connection will work not as a love connection. It will be a kind of an agreement between two people, one that really needs a lot of love and another one that really wants to give a lot of love, or two people that need each other because they don't want to be alone. And in order to avoid this is, as we said, working on ourselves is the key to find the right partner for you. Why? Because you have not only to make this idea of the perfect soulmate, step number one, to desire with all your intention, with all your passion, with all your attention. You also have to believe that this can happen to you. And that's where some of us can have problems. Because, consciously, a lot of people register in the workshop how to find your soulmate, but when we are there, we realize that maybe our heart is closed because of the disappointments and the pain that we suffer in past relationships, or that we have made an agreement with ourselves, or that nobody will hurt me anymore. And the heart is not ready. And sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves and go again and dating, and you have to be ready, and the family and the friends tell you, but you are not ready. Then it's more important to take the time to realize if there is anything that is holding you back. If this desire, it's there, but also if you have problems about deserving love or about forgiveness. Have you forgive your ex for what happened? If someone betrayed you or lied to you or abandoned you, have you solved this fear of abandonment? Because sometimes at a conscious level, we say some things, but the unconscious has stored all the information of what happened. Then when we are again, as you say, dating a different person in a different moment of our lives, this pain or these past experiences are triggered by a situation that is similar to the one that we have experienced in the past. And then we feel again living the same situation.
Very, very much so. Very much so. And it is so true that we do have to continue to release, I think, how we're feeling about our ex. And the other thing I think I would mention is how we feel about ourselves, because so often, even though we say, okay, we forgive our ex, we can move forward, we haven't forgiven ourselves. So we lay that burden within ourselves, and it really puts a block for us to be able to move forward to meet someone, because there again, I don't think the vibration can get through. I don't think that the love of someone else can get through if we are holding that close to our own and blaming ourselves for what has happened in our life.
That's totally true. And always believe that love is pure. I mean, love is not the guilty one. Even though the relationship have ended, love will be always there for you. And you have to connect with this energy of love and start feeling it in yourself. But again, share it with someone. Even if you are not in a relationship, you have so much love to give. Don't give it only to the people you know. Give it to everyone. Since the moment you go out of the elevator in your building, start sending mentally love. Connect with the love energy. When you're in the shower, take a bath of love. Feel this love inside of yourself, because this is what it's going to put you, again, in this right vibration that we are talking about. Because what you said is very important. Forgiveness is there for us. We just have to allow it to happen. Nothing has to happen in order to forgive. It's your commitment to set yourself free from your past. You don't need to continue living that past. You can create a different future for yourself. And you can do it now, starting this minute.
Absolutely. Let's say we've met someone and they're a complete stranger to us and we start to feel a bit of a connection. Any suggestion about how we should, sometimes they say, oh, you go too fast, you're moving too fast. What would you say with something like that?
I will say that you have to be authentic. That the important is to feel that you are yourself in the relationship. There is not such a concept of fast or slow. It depends on every relationship and every partner. Let me tell you an example of this and what happened with soulmates that maybe goes to the other extreme, but I think it will illustrate what I'm saying. When I moved to the US, because after my divorce, I did some work and I knew that my soulmate was in New York. Then I packed and left and I came to this country to figure out my future and to start doing this coaching career. And that was important is that I knew that my soulmate was here. I knew that I felt positive about finding this person, but you have to allow the universe to bring this person to you. When I met him 9 months after living in New York, we were living one street far away from each other. I was living in Manhattan in 85th Street between 1st and 2nd, and he was living corner with York. We didn't met in the middle of the street, even though he was passing in front of my apartment every day to go to the gym. We met in a party, but in the moment we met, I was the expert on these things, but he had a sense of a feeling. She is the one. He just saw me coming from the street through the door, and he had this sense. To make it short, our relationship, I started because he was traveling to India. He's originally from there for Christmas, and he came back on St. Valentine's, the day after St. Valentine's, and we moved together at the end of February. And it took us 1 week to figure out that we wanted to be together, that we wanted to create a family, and that we wanted to get married. How was that possible if we didn't know each other? A lot of people, including my mother, they were saying, but you don't know each other. What are you doing? This is going too fast. No, in that moment, we were sure of what we were doing. There are people that will need 3 years of relationship to really know each other and to create something stable that will allow them to get married. Then no one can judge except you and your partner what does it mean to go fast or slow. With soulmates, usually things are clear because of this previous connection that I was mentioning. But when you are with someone, don't try to imagine, try to feel. Try to open your heart and see how you feel in the company of this person. If you see yourself for the rest of your life, how it makes you feel, what you add to this creation, this relationship that you are creating together. And this will give you the answer. We have the tendency to ask everyone except ourselves. And it's a good exercise to clarify our feelings instead of start talking.
Absolutely. Great advice. This is wonderful advice. And I thank you so much for being on the show today. So if we were going to leave, and I know our hour goes very, very quickly, but if we're getting close to the end here, and so I wanted to give you an opportunity to leave something with the listeners if you wanted to share anything further with them, to be able to help them to move forward and to number one, to allow themselves to find their soulmates, to realize that they have found their soulmates and what to do, and how to live really happily ever after.
Yeah. Oh, I have so many things to say still.
Well, you go ahead and say.
I will say that love is always there for you. Please rely on love, because love it's something that it's your birthright. It's something that you deserve. You have to feel lovable. It's something that you deserve to be loved, but it's something that starts with you. If I can let you understand that your past will never determine your future, that I'm not wiser or smarter than you, and I have been able to find my soulmate. I just want to share with you what I have learned. And this is that if to find the right partner for you or your soulmate is the most important thing in your life, you have to demonstrate this to the universe. Why? Because you have to keep your desire alive. Don't give up. Don't think that this is not for you. Don't think that relationships are complicated. You can do it without struggling. You can find a partner with whom you feel connected, that love you the way you love yourself. And you will do it by knowing exactly what kind of partner do you want, making this special list of your soulmate, by desiring with all your passion and intention, put all your attention on manifesting this love. Since the moment you get up in the morning, connect with this idea. It's going to happen today. How good I'm feeling. Oh, that's wonderful. It's a wonderful day, because you have to continue living your life with happiness while you wait, while you savor the waiting, because you know step number 3 will be to accept that your soulmate is already coming into your life. You know that you deserve this love. You know that you have put all the intention, all your energy. Then your soulmate, it's going to enter in your life sooner or later. The universe will take care of when everything happens within a divine timing. We'll take care of the how it's going to happen. You don't need to think if it's going to be in a party or in a wedding or in the middle of the street. It can happen any moment. You just have to be sure that your heart is open and ready to love. That if there is anything that is holding you back, find out if consciously or unconsciously you are sabotaging the process. Complete your past, whatever it's there, from past relationships, even with parents, with siblings that created ideas about love that are not serving for you. Let go of what is not working for you in terms of love, and make yourself ready to find this love, this great love that you have never experienced, but you feel that you can find, that you feel it will find you if you allow the encounter to happen. It's about loving. It's about loving life and relying that this person that you have been waiting for, and you have been dreaming during the day and at night, it's there somewhere, also looking for you. And if you keep this mindset, if you work on yourself and prepare yourself, I can promise that the encounter is going to happen.
Absolutely. I so believe what you're saying. I just think it's wonderful. And thank you so much for coming on the show today. Tell us a little bit about some of the workshops that you have available to the listeners.
I have been teaching workshops of one day. It's an intensive idea. One is called Fall in Love with Yourself. And it was created because of the need that I realized that my clients and me, almost all of us, need to improve our level of self-love. Then how we do that? What techniques and strategies? It's something that it's experiential, that we spend one day together from 10 to 6 practicing how to connect with who we really are, how to know more about ourselves. I usually teach this on Saturday, sometimes on a weekend experience. On Sunday, we'll have this workshop on how to find your soulmate. And the workshop is based on the same ideas I have been sharing with you during this show. It's the process of preparation of what can be holding you back, and realizing if there is an unconscious block that you are not aware that can be sabotaging the process of attracting a partner, and going through the process step by step, how to desire, how to accept that your soulmate can come into your life, and how to believe that you deserve this love. And some tools and techniques. I work with my clients in all these different aspects that I was mentioning before. The dreams, for example, will allow you to meet your soulmate before the encounter happens in real life. You can meet this person in your dreams. And it's something that I teach there. We understand what are the Akashic records and how important it is to receive this soul guidance. Because sometimes what is holding us back is something that didn't even happen in this lifetime. It's an agreement that we made, or it's a problem in relationships that we have been carrying through lifetimes. When we make a promise, like I will love you forever, we carry it with us. And sometimes we need to renegotiate agreements and promises and vows that we have made. And the past life regression is the same. It's an amazing concept where you can see your soulmate and you in previous lifetimes together. I teach all of these things in a format that, because it's intensive, gives you everything you need to do the process on your own. I cannot give you the fish, but I can teach you how to fish. And the workshop, I love to teach it because it's based on my experience. As you said, Cici, I have been there. I know what does it mean to be divorced, to not know exactly what is going to happen from now on in your love life, and to put yourself together and to start relying again in love and trying to find the right partner for you. Again, if I did it, all of you can do it.
Absolutely. Now, I do also want to share that on your website, you have some blogs that are very informational. They're great reading. I would tell the listeners to please go to your website and have a look at those blogs, because I think once we fill our heart, our souls, our minds with very positive, educational, uplifting information, it just changes us. We evolve every time we read something, every time we think about it, and we just start moving ourselves forward and towards that, what we want in our life. The other thing I wanted to mention, Judith, is that to let the listeners know that you have a Spanish website. So if they are speaking Spanish or they're reading Spanish, if it's easier for them, you do have that available for them.
Yes, I'm from Spain. The website is translated into both languages, and also if they register in the website, just let me know, because I share the gift letters every month in 2 languages. Then whatever you want. Usually the workshops are more in English, but I have some in Spanish, and if you are interested, if any of the workshops that are listed in the website in Spanish, we can create a group for you. Then feel free to ask. I will be there to answer any question you may have. And I will be happy to help anyone that is in the path of love. It's very important, as you say, and congratulations for your show, because this is part of it, to connect with these resources that will help you. To ask for help doesn't make you weak. It makes you strong. To connect with this positive energy, with people that have been in the same process as you are right now, in the same life situation, and that have the tools and the resources to share them with you.
Absolutely. Now, you also have a retreat that's going to be coming up in September of this year, right?
Yeah, I have created a new program that it's called Love Key to Happiness. It's going to happen in September in Palma de Mallorca. And it's a 1-week retreat, because there is where I can give all the tools in daily classes and practice every day with the students, the participants, the things that we have been talking here. It's like kind of a manual, happiness for life, kind of a manual of how to be happy in your life. It's a different attitude towards life that will allow you to do that. It's something that you can totally do. It's not complicated. And the idea is that if you go there, you transform your life.
Absolutely. And you know what? What a beautiful place to go to. So why not take your vacation, learn a little something, come back feeling refreshed, ready to go? I mean, I think it's a great idea. So it's right on your website. And so now tell everybody how to get to your website.
The website is www.judithmcosta.com. Judith is Judith, as in Mary, Costa, Costa. And they will find there the page to go to the Spanish website if they want. And my email is judithmcosta@hotmail.com.
Wonderful. Now, you mentioned a newsletter. So if they contact you through the website, the newsletter?
Yeah, they have a contact form if they need to ask me anything, where there is an email. But they also can register. There is a space to do that. Or follow me in Facebook, Google+, Instagram, and all this. Because I share content every day. I publish in social media quotes that I love, empowering quotes, advice, information. And if you register in the website, I will keep you posted about any event that is happening in your area. And also I send a monthly gift letter that it's not in my website. It's only for my clients. And if you want to continue receiving information about all these topics, I invite you to go to the website, check it out, and register.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I know that you have something coming up in Naples, which is close to us here in the St. Petersburg area. So everyone, please check out her website, which is www.judithmcosta.com, and you'll get all the information there. It's wonderful. She's a great lady. Thank you so much for being on the show. I cannot tell you. We've waited for her. She's been traveling, and it's just a delight to have you back. And I hope you will come back again, Judith, and talk to us again.
You know that I love to talk to you and your audience. I'm ready to come back whenever you ask me to do it. And it's always a pleasure. And I'll hope to see you in Naples.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. Sounds like a joy to be there. So WGSN-DB Going Solo Network Facebook page, the audience can readily get to your website. So I think it's wonderful. But thank you for all that you do. You're a joy. You're an inspiration. Every time you're on the show, I just get so elated. I myself want to get out there and do more work for myself and try to make myself a little bit whole and to move forward. And it's just really a great pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you. I'm happy to inspire.
Well, thank you. Well, this is CC with Going Solo, and you know what? It's just around the corner for you. So just stick around, come back to us, and listen to each and every show because they are very uplifting and they will move you forward. So this is CC with Going Solo. You're listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. It's a joy. Talk to you later. Bye for now.
Bye.
Get along without you, baby. Better off without you, baby. How does it feel without me, baby? I'm getting stronger without you, baby.